Hey everybody, this is your spiritual colorist and diamond painter. Doing another video. It's been a while since I did another one. Trying to keep my content going on a continuously basis. I wanted to show you some of the videos that I've seen where people be showing their coloring books. And one of the books that I like to get are books that have meaning, books that are unique, and some books that just have a meaning and personal style for you. I don't know if anybody has a personal coloring style. And I love different. I love something that says outside the box. And Kirby Rosen is one of those artists that blows my mind every time I look at something that he does or something he has created. And a lot of people, when you're a beginner like me, it's very intimidating. It's very scary to start his pages, but it's also that thrill of just wanting to dive in and see what you can put to it after you look at so many other colorists who did a page and try to figure out, what colors did they use? Did they use paint? How did they get that to look that way? He's definitely one of those people who really take you beyond your limitations in the coloring world. And I love his style. I think he's creative. The way he just has this mind-blowing, unique way of thinking. And Fragile World is not just a book of coloring. It tells you about all the different animals. Like, I love turtles. I'm a turtle lover. And my spirit animals, like, he has all of them in there. And this book is just so beautiful. I did a little bit of this one, the beginning. So just going through some of my pages that I've done. I've done that. That's the beginning of the books. It's kind of both sides. And I haven't done that one. Then he has like the tiger. Now this is big because you have the tiger in the mountains. And then you have the goats and the eagle. And I mean, like, doing this, you really got to know how to use all the techniques. And I always say you got to start somewhere. So when you dive in there, you just start practicing if you haven't already been practicing, and learning just how to put the colors together, because he has some mind-blowing images. There's the bat, Australian bat, and the gorilla, but he tells you why each one of these animals are in this book, and that's what I love about him, that he takes time to want to help the environment and have so much meaning to why he do what he do in some of the books that he's created. There's so many other beautiful pictures in here. I think I've done. Okay, I'm thinking of one I did. If I didn't do that one, I think it might be another one. Yes, another one. The one I started on was this one, with the butterfly. It's my whip in here, my whip, which is my work in progress, that I'm still working on, and it's the butterfly. So yeah, it's a whole lot of beautiful pictures in here. I've seen a lot of people do this one, and the picture with all the beautiful colors that they put into it is always different. It's always mind-blowing. And in the back, he tells you a little bit about each picture. I love the one that I'm doing, which is the butterfly. This is the 21. And he tells you a little bit about each one. Like the rusty patch bumblebees once thrived across much of North America, but over the past 20 years, the population has dropped by almost 90%. Most of this decline is due to the loss of habitat, which deprives the bees of nesting sites and prevents them from accessing nectar and pollen. Not only do the bees rely on the pollen from the plants, but some plants also rely on the bees to pollinate them. However, work is being done to reintroduce these bees and to sustain some of their natural habitat. And as you can see, there's a whole bunch of other stuff about the gorillas. But I love that about this book because I love bees, and I plan on getting my certification in beekeeping. Not that I want to be a beekeeper, but I want to learn everything that I'm interested in learning about it, from the hives and how you collect the honey, and how you collect the propolis from the honeycombs. Bees are so unique. So I'm a natural health consultant, and I'm into natural health and wellness. So I'm very, very deep into environmental factors and nature and all that stuff. So This is World of Worlds by Kirby, and I looked at this one and I was like, OMG, the things that he come up with. Like, he made a place of home or housing, or he took animals and showed you the most unique forms that you could possibly think when it comes to his creativity and his mind. So this is the beginning. It took me a while to do this, and as a beginner, as I said, I'm just learning. I tried to make this look as unique as possible when it comes to doing nature, which is one of the things I'm really practicing and studying as a new beginner, as a colorist. And like I said, everything has a personal meaning to me. I even like developed my own little story that I might read one day, because nature has such a unique sense. And when we look at trees and how they are part of the earth and what they mean to the earth, and how we need to protect our environment, So I said, have you hugged the tree? Have you hugged the tree today? It's kind of funny to say that, but I love trees, and I'm real about saving our environment and doing things to help better it. But everything that lives in a tree that has life, if you have seen mushrooms growing in a tree, or the different little little bushes that you see growing out of a tree, and all these little houses, which probably could be ant houses, bee houses, all those little naturey bugs and insects that crawl up and down trees. Because I was one of them kids that stood around and looked at the trees. And I'm like, what are you looking at? I'm looking at the ants. And don't tell me to move. And I'm like, I want to look at the ants. When I was a kid, because it fascinated me to see them going up and down the trees the way they did, or if a whole bunch of ants were like standing on. I'll be sitting down there, bent down, like as a little kid, just looking at my grandma. Like, what are you looking at? I'm looking at the ants. That was definitely me as a kid. Even bees, and when they went into the flowers, like I'm sitting there looking, just watching, because I was fascinated on the work that they did in the earth and how they were doing what they do every day. So I try my best to make this look a little different. Like I said, I like different. I don't like trying to be ordinary. If I do something, I like to, add a little difference to it. And this is my first one, the turtle, which I told you I have a love for turtles. Another people say, oh, turtles. Yes, I love turtles. Um, but this is with the house on top of his back and the tree. And turtles outlive dinosaurs, y'all. They are just so strong and they're so ancient. And then the birds flying around. I haven't did my background yet, and I'm still working on this one. I wasn't so happy about it because I tried to make the moon look like a moon. I didn't want to put it brown. I wanted to make it gray. But I'm going to still work on it a little bit, because I'll be seeing people say you can go back and color in a little bit more and add a little more tone to it and do a little more shadowing. And I just wanted to make it look like a moon, like, a real moon. So that's a little bit of that. And there's so many other beautiful pictures. And every picture has a secret hidden object. Like this one has the skull. If you see that little teeny tiny skull, so when you turn to this page, there's a skull right there. And I think this one has a tree in it somewhere down here, and you got to find the tree. Like in this book, you have to find the hidden item. And I still haven't found the tree in this one, but all the answers are in the back of the book. And over here you see the tree. And when you go to the back of the book, he tells you where all the hidden objects are. So you'll see the little circle like right there to tell you what that is. And I think on the next one is a fish, and it's hidden inside of the pictures. So I love this about Kirby. Kirby is the bomb, okay? I also have his Color Morphia. These are my only 3 Kirby books. And I'm like, I don't want to, you start coloring. It's like when I was diamond painting, you say, I don't want to get too much of this. I don't want to get too much of that. I'm not going to overdo it. And then the more you see, the more you want. But it's a craft, it's a hobby, and buying can become addictive. And I'm a person, I like to be wise on how I spend. So, I said, okay, if I spend this much, I'm going to have this many coloring books, and that's it. And then you see something else and you're like, but it's on sale. So, yeah, that's me. Right now I'm thinking about getting the mythical one that he has. And I'm debating on that because I said, all right, I was going to keep 3 of his books because I'm just starting the first 3 I have. So this is Color Morphia, and I love different, like I said. And seeing that cat, I had to get this. I love cats too. I always had animals growing up. I had a cat, dog, I had a bird. My sister had a hamster. She had guinea pigs. I had a turtle. Yeah, we was one of the families. We all had pets. Not a lot of pets. Like our dogs didn't always stay in the house except when we had a little Pekingese. But yeah, I do love animals. And I thought that was just like so unique. Some people say that's strange, but strange is good. Yes. Um, Going through this book right here, I just looked at how beautiful the pictures were. I've been reading instead of just like, open up the book. I really had started reading what he has written down in his books and not just coloring. And I love that. What page am I on? I think I'm on this page right here with the Black Raven. Because I've had that one. This is the Black Raven. Yeah, I started reading that part. Read that part. I think I'm up here to the toucan. This is the Tut. King Tut's. Yeah, this is King Tut. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So this is the page that I'm on. I haven't finished reading all of this. I think I read the top part. So I've just been reading about where he's at and what he thinks. This is the first page I've colored. And it's okay. I feel I could do a little better. But I don't think I'm getting better. That dragon. I love dragons. And I didn't like this page too much. With the bugs. I don't like bugs. And I think and this is the page I completed that I was like happy with. I think I made it look as different as I wanted it to look with the blending colors, as you can see a little bit right there. Try to blend the colors in and do my flowers. I really love doing flowers. Been practicing doing that. But he has some wonderful, wonderful, crazy looking. Here's the octopus. And there's the ship. Man, I've seen some people put like work into these pages, and I'm like, y'all go to work. Y'all go to work. I forgot the name of the YouTuber I was watching, and I think she said she spent 10 hours doing a page. I was like, yo, it ain't that serious for me, girl. I don't know if she got up and ate and pissed or what, but she said she spent almost 10 hours doing one page. I was like, oh my God, girl. Like when I'm diamond painting, I heard that people that do diamond paintings, and they go, I really want to tackle that, but I think I'm gonna do this page next, opposite of the other one. It's a little look that reminds me so much of that little Pac-Man thing. He calls this doodling, and it reminds me of that little Pac-Man thing that you see when it goes getting eat up the little ghost. But I thought it was cute because I like those fishes in there. But yes. Trying to see. I love doing flowers. And in the back of this book, he also has some. Was there information in the back of this book? I don't think there's none in color more here. No. But the gorilla, Mama King Kong. And then there's the big city. And I think they have another Godzilla or King Kong movie about to come out. It's even Godzilla King Kong, but I have to see it because, yeah, I like movies like that. And this is the other book that I was doing some stuff in. I think my other book I did something in was my jewelry. And this is by Hannah Carlson. She's another one of my favorite colorists. I like that she just put it in a book form. And the way she actually has all these different books that look like books instead of like paperback coloring books. And her stories. I just start trying to do this, and I've been using my chalk for background, and that was the only one I've done in her book. She's the other one I love doing her stuff. Now, these are the other three that I just got, and I said I was going to go get no more books because I had enough. But this is one where it has messengers for angels. I thought there was going to be messages in the book, but they're all different pictures of angels because one of the things I like to collect, and I've always have, I don't care if it's pins, I don't care if they're little statues or knickknacks, is angels. I have an angel. I have Cupid on my arm. So, and yeah, I am definitely into the angel thing. I think this would be cute. Some of these pictures are like stuff you could do in Christmas time. But I love the angels. I like that one with the two angels right there. So that's the new one. That was kind of on sale. Amazon be having like thing they bring down prices. I definitely had to get the one for black women representing my culture of the black women and their different hairstyles. And I used to always get my hair done at the African women's braiding salons when I was living up in Philly, going back home this year. So the styles that they had in there, so I definitely have to tackle doing portraits. I love doing portraits when I do diamond painting as well, but trying to do the faces, these hairstyles like this, and just tackling getting better at it. And they got the black cover in the back just in case you use marker that it won't bleed through the braids. This was my hairstyle that my mother gave us when we were a kid. It was my signature hairstyle, was the two braids. I mean, I wore them forever because my mama was like, you're just gonna have two braids today. Until I was able to start like doing your own hair. And the wrap and all the beautiful. I like this one. And people don't realize African American people, even when you go to like the African braiding salons, braiding is so much more to them because it's in a part of their inheritance, and the way women wear their hair had meaning, whether they were getting married, whether they were from a certain tribe, or whether they had a certain style. It had a meaning to them. So African American hairstyles, from braids to sinkless twists to corkscrews to locks, have meaning to the ones who are definitely from the motherland of Africa and know that, it was a trait that was passed down. It was something that they took, to heart, how they wore their hair. And when the Egyptians start braiding their hair, it's because, they were in a place where it was so much, heat. They had to find a way to, maintain their hair, so they would braid it. I love this one. This will probably be the first one I'll do. I'm not going to do an entire flip through, but I do like the black woman coloring look. And these are called Bantu Knots. I've never had those. And I never had silky locks, but I've had everything else. The twists, the sinkless twist, the corkscrews. Yeah, I've had everything. It came with braids. Supernatural quotes. Okay, now this is one of my favorite TV shows about good versus evil with Dean and Sam. And, they are brothers who are in a family business, where they have to go out and destroy demons. And I love this book. And they have all the quotes that Dean would say. We're far from perfect, but we are good. That's Sam Winchester. And they're called the Winchester brothers. We make our own future. Dean Winchester. So I love the quotes that they had in this book. I'm not gonna lie, I have stopped watching the seasons of Supernatural. I don't know what season I stopped on, but I know they kept going and going. Then it kind of got off to me. I think I got bored with the concept after their mom came back from the dead, and I was like, ooh, hold up. Well, they're supposed to turn back time. But if anyone follows Supernatural, you know what I'm talking about. So if you haven't, it is a series that used to come on, I think, CW. And yes, it says, I realize that there is no other righteous path, that there is no righteous path. It's just people trying to do their best in a world where it is far too easy to do your worst. Castiel. Castiel was the angel. And I love that, bro. I love that. I love it. This is probably the first one I'm going to do. Demons I get, but people are crazy. That was Dean. If you know Dean would say something crazy, because he had this really crazy, he was the crazy and wild brother. But I love Supernatural. It's about good versus evil, and yeah. And those are my books, and I'm just starting back with, hold on, I have one more other book that I did want to share. my fantasy book, which is my grayscale book. So I like fantasy, I like mythology, and yeah, I've done this book. This is by Molly Harrison. She has a lot of mermaids in here, and I love grayscale. I like trying to tackle it. This is one of the pictures I've done. I also am just starting to use my gel pens, which I have just gotten, and I have fallen in love with the gel pens. I'm definitely going to tackle this. I love this picture. So I definitely want to tackle that. And I think I'm going to use the markers in this one. So when you start off as a colorist, putting color to a page and bringing a page to life is, like, to me, the most fascinating. And it's so overwhelming, and I love it because I'm not a person that draws. I don't paint. So just being able to take a color that you have in your mind or the vision that you have of this entire picture and bring it to life and make it look like something that you want it to look like. People use paint, people use acrylic, those pastel pastel crayons. They use chalk. They use the different types of pencils. They use the markers, alcohol markers, and learning how these pencils and these tools are best in certain areas and how they feel on the page and how it makes things look. I love the gel pen. I have fun. I know I did another picture in here. I really do love the gel pens, and I just started using them, and there it is. I had started doing that on. I'm not finished it quite yet because I said I wanted to do some more down here, but this was the other picture I did, and I like fantasy because, like I said, I love different. It's just me. I like to make something look unusual, something you wouldn't usually see in your own mind, but you can imagine, in the world itself. So those are my books, and those are the things I'm coloring and practicing on. I did get this book. I had to get it. It was a little expensive though. And I loved it because it teaches you a lot on how to start practicing. And I'm all about it. I'm all about getting better. I'm all about learning more. The eyes, oh my God. Or the hair and the lips, and how you can make the lips look like really stand out and give it that dimensional effect. The sunglasses, the skin tone, which is like so important to me right now because I don't think I'm good at really doing skin tone at all. Air bubbles, the flowers. And this book is by Helen Elliston. But it is a really good book if you'd like to read and just learn. And then she had places where you can really practice. So that is the book that I have. I think I have one more. Hold on, y'all. I have another one I want to share. I do have a couple other ones. These are my other two Hannah Carlson books that I'll probably end up doing today. I also have the Ink House, which is, oh my God. What I love about the Ink House, I don't like this. This is a page I don't like. And remember, y'all, I'm a beginner, so I'm all about practice, getting better, learning through this journey. Now, this is my favorite. This is the flowers I did. And this was one of my favorite ones. I'm really kind of scared of doing backgrounds in books like this. So, yeah. And I did the cat. I didn't do her hair. I'm still working. This is my WIP. With the cat. And this is the one I did with the gel pens. And it was my first time using the gel pens because they come so glittery and it makes everything, because there's a lot of glitter in it. So these make your book look a lot like it pops when you put it in certain pictures, whether it's fishes or underwater. And I'm learning how to use the gel pen, so don't be critical about my first time. And I just loved it. And this I did with the pen, of course. I didn't do no background. I told y'all in these books I've been scared to do background, so I'm learning to come out of that zone because I don't want to mess it up. I don't want to mess it up. and I kind of just did that a little bit. That was on and this one is in Midnight Masquerade. Spirit Animals is the other book. I don't think I've done anything. I just start trying to do that. I don't really like this picture. Like I said, don't be too critical because I'm just learning. When I'm talking about doing hair, and that's in that book that I really want to learn how to do hair. So yeah, these are the books I'm working on right now, and that I love, and that I really am hoping to master the element of color: fire, earth, air, and water. Because I do have my Avatar coloring book too. That's one of my latest ones because I love the Avatar. And when I saw they had a coloring book, I was like, I gotta get it. I have to get it. And it wasn't even really cheap. It wasn't even expensive. It was like $6. It's a change. So I did get that one. I think I showed you that on my other video. But I probably will start doing my Colormorphia book today. I think I'm going to work on something in this book that I saw. I said I was going to do this next. And I said I got a little bit of color on there. I'm like that. But it was something I said I was watching a tutorial that I was going to start in this book. And everything I do, I try to make it positive and give people some inspiration. And I guess my message for today is don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone if you're doing arts and crafts, if you're doing something that's different, or you feel like, you don't want people to judge you because of what you like or what you're doing. Don't be afraid to be who you are. Don't be afraid to be different. To take a chance sometimes, even when it feels like it's difficult. But you won't know till you know. And when it comes to people being so creative as artists, most artists are gifted and talented, and you never even know it until they come out of that closet. And you look at that person like, I had no idea he was good at doing that, whether it's singing, dancing, drawing. I don't care what it is. But most of the time, people are really talented. Aren't people always trying to make themselves seen or put themselves in a spotlight? Their talents usually come out of nowhere, and you would never know that person had that ability to do what they do. And a lot of times, coloring is really in high demand, and people are using art therapy as a method to help them deal with different issues. It's a calming art. It's a calming, therapeutic way of relaxing the mind, the body, and the spirit, and bringing out the creativity and the artist within you. And I just look at things and how people act and things people say. And right now I'm going through a great transition of my own. And when I think about that, stepping out your comfort zone, doing what you feel is right for you. After my father has passed, some people feel like, oh, I can't stay in the place where my father or my wife passed away. And knowing so many people have lost their loved ones during this pandemic, which my prayers and my heart and my sympathy goes out to anyone, not just due to the coronavirus, but anyone who's lost anyone this year or last year at any time. Death is not always the easiest thing to deal with. And for me, the transition has been just learning how to organize things day by day, because I was always there for my dad, and he was someone that depended constantly on me. And then I was also trying to get my own life together, and then going through having an accident that really put me in a position where I have like a rod, a screw, and a plate in my leg, and learning how to get through that. Working on my health, and just I don't have any serious health problems, but I want to be able to be stronger in my legs and do better for myself. Now, all things are about me, and when you have been used to concentrating on you're someone else, it's time. It's a change that you will never understand unless you really go through it from the mental perspective and even the emotional perspective of it. It can be time. Time changes a lot of things, but as we move through time, we have to learn that change is going to come, and we have great change going on in our earth right now. But don't be afraid of change. Don't be afraid of moving out of your comfort zone. And I'm doing things that I know that God has just put on my heart to do. I take time to pray every morning, get up, and I have classes I'm taking, about to work from home. So wherever I go, I can take my job with me and continue my journey of the things that the Lord has put on my heart to do with my life. And sometimes when we start doing something that we're serious about, we're incredibly in love with, we get off track. Sometimes life happens, like something happens in the middle of life, and like, poof, and you just have to stop and say, okay, now what I'm going to do now? How's this going to work out for me now? So then when I was talking about coloring and the different things, the things that inspire me, it made me look at change. It made me look at different. It made me look at people who take things and do it from a total perspective that you would never even think about. And when I look at all these beautiful and talented and extraordinary colorists, everyone's doing this type of craft for their own reason and their love of just being artistic. And then there's people who are doing it because it really helps them calm. It really gives them a peace of mind. It really has a therapeutic effect on them. And like I said, change is not easy, and I'm making changes every day, y'all, that slowly but surely I'm going to get there. But don't give up. Don't give in. And as I minister to you, I minister to myself. God is always there, and I'm moving. I'm on the change of moving. And I'm telling you, it's just like, I don't know if I do, I don't know, but I know what God has put on my heart. I know what he's been speaking to me about for some time. Some things that just is like a pressure in your gut, but you, like all inside of you, you like, I don't know. But your gut all along is telling you, you know this was going to happen. You know this is what you have to do. And sometimes you got to listen to your gut and doubt not. And just not be afraid, not be fearful, not worry, but do what your heart is telling you to do. And don't be afraid about being different. That's my message for the day, y'all. This is the spiritual colorist and diamond painter. When I come back next time, we'll have a little whip and chat coloring, and I might talk to you about some other things. But for right now, that's all I have. Please subscribe if you like my content. I will come back with some more things. But be blessed, everyone, and thank you so much for listening. Bye-bye.